Trigger warning. It is abuse.
Why did you say you were gonna kill my dog?
So context, she's on her phone with her husband. She, before this, had been on the phone with her husband for a while. She walked off camera, then she came back on, and then eventually it seems like she just said, fuck it, and she sat down. She was muted the entire time, and then she unmuted to play this phone call. And honestly, I don't know what you could describe that as other than a cry for help or wanting evidence out there. So if anything happened to her, if anything happened to her animals which are being threatened, that people would know who did it. What hurts me is Thousands saying how she hustled tens of hours only to realize in her heart she knew it was him forcing her to do 24 hours, 16 hours timestamp. Yeah, I was watching. Guy's a manipulative monster, definitely. That was smart of her with the unmuting. She's an extremely intelligent woman. She knows what she's doing, okay? This was not a mistake or an accident. She knew what she was doing, and that's really concerning. Right. And what's more concerning is that, like most abusive, manipulative relationships, she'll probably still be with this guy for some period of time. I don't know what her support network is like. I know that she's friends with a lot of streamers who love her and care for her very much. Abusive relationships are really, really difficult to get out of. And she mentioned something in a video that we will watch about how he's nice sometimes, and then he gets back into being abusive. And that's how they keep you around, is they'll manipulate you into thinking things are better right now. They could stay like this forever. But they cycle. I'll abuse the fuck out of you, and then I'll give you a gift, or I'll tell you how much you mean to me, or I'll break down in front of you and apologize. But it's just going to continue to go. So I really do hope that she has a solid network of people in her life that are going to support her and care for her. That's what it takes to get out. Those are just crucial relationships to have to get out of abusive relationships. I mean, it's scary, and my heart goes out to her, and I'm praying that she's able to get out of this. You'll hear in this clip, I'm scared of what this guy's going to do to her. And Amouranth is just a really nice, funny person.
Leave the house.
Okay. I can leave the. You know what? Actually, I shouldn't leave the house because my dogs are here.
We'll take the dogs and leave. You're asking the question I'm telling you, and you're interrupting my fucking, telling you. Literally.
I got a pic with her in TwitchCon, so it feels bad knowing everything with her. And we'll talk here, as long as you mentioned TwitchCon, we'll talk about this right now. This is one of her content managers. And here is, does it make sense now why Kate is Amouranth? Why I had to stream on Kate's channel all day Saturday at TwitchCon. Also for the skeptics, here's a picture of Amouranth locked out of her hotel and the 911 call I made while he was yelling at her on Monday morning. And she'll show the text. So here is her locked out of the room. And then here's the 911 call. So he had to call 911 for her because her husband was screaming at her at TwitchCon. She had a stalker. She's had it really rough. I'm pretty sure he's the one who leaked her content and tried to empty her OnlyFans balance. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
What are you saying? You just told me you were gonna kill dogs if I didn't do a 24-hour stream.
Nope, did not say that. Now you're just fucking being a liar.
I'm not
I said I'm going to tell you what I said in terms of the earlier. You're saying you did not say that.
I tried to tell you what I heard from you. And then you called me a liar.
Then you tell me, what did you say?
What are you even talking about? You brought up the dogs out of nowhere.
Exactly.
So what
point.
point is there improving?
See? You're proving my point right now.
What? I'm asking you. I don't even understand what you're saying to me.
I know. That's my point. My point is, are you listening or not? If you're not, then get the fuck out.
I'm literally listening, but you're not making any sense.
Well, no, you're not listening because it makes perfect sense. I'm gonna say it one more time. If you don't get it, I need.
So yeah, you're saying he's speaking gibberish. I mean, he's talking complete nonsense, but that's the point, right? He's lying about what he said. So of course it's not going to make sense because he's just making it up on the spot, right? He's just talking random bullshit because she understood perfectly what he was saying to her. And now he has to lie about it and walk it back. And eventually in a different phone call, he does admit that he threatened to kill her dogs. He also threatened to send her horse to the meat packing factory. Wait, did people find out who this dude is? His name is Nick Lee. What the guy is saying is less important than how he's saying it. He's yelling and screaming at her. So fucked. Yeah, I mean, anyone who's been in an abusive relationship knows with 100% certainty that like this is an abusive relationship. That's how the abusers talk to you. They always try to make you feel stupid. They always want you to feel like you're the one in the wrong. And he feels this comfortable talking to her like that. And abusers feel this comfortable talking to their victims because they are sure that their victims are not going to leave them, because they've created a situation where it's so hostile and they've become so manipulative that they probably won't leave them. That's the tragic part of this. So is there evidence of physical abuse? He broke down her door when she tried to call the police on him, and he threw her phone against the wall and broke a hole into the wall. So then
the therapist even told him that it's a form of like psychological abuse, and that I'm basically living in a fancy prison. And then he was changed for a bit, and then the hot tub meta arose, and he was like, oh, this is an opportunity. And then he turned into an asshole again when I agreed to commit to the grind because it was a good financial opportunity for us. I've been wanting to tell people that, like, let's just stream together. Just tell them that we're fucking married, because it's like our relationship would be better if we just stream them. And it's fighting all the time. But no, Mister, don't say that because it's gonna ruin the business model. It's not time yet.
So this is what makes me really fucking upset about the people who are calling her a scammer. She is saying right here, her husband forced her to say she was single. She wanted to say she was married. She wanted to stream with him. She wanted to get this all out in the open. And yet people will still call her a scammer for hiding her husband, which, first of all, even if she did that, that doesn't make her a fucking scammer. You were never going to fucking date her, okay? You fucking peasants. You little fucking incel scumbags. She was never gonna fucking date you. You never had a chance with her. You only fucking deluded yourself into it. And anyway, subscribing to her, donating to her, none of that ever was a fucking purchase. She doesn't owe you a goddamn fucking thing. Parasocial dipshits scam themselves into thinking they had a chance. I mean, that was the real scam. The only people that were scammed was them scamming themselves. She did not ever want to do hot tub streaming. He forced her to do it. And that is why she gets so much fucking hate for it. And a lot of people, I don't really watch much of her streams, but a lot of people who do have told me that she used to seem so much happier when she was like playing games, which he's forbid her from doing, and streaming what she wanted to. And she's, people have said she's been noticeably a lot more sad on stream. I mean, he's literally acting like her fucking pimp, not her husband, forcing her to do hot tub streaming and to be barraged with insults and just constant harassment, to have cyber stalkers and real life fucking stalkers, and to never get a moment of reprieve. This came to light because apparently she wanted to take a trip to Disneyland, and her husband told her, you can't fucking go to Disneyland unless you do a 24-hour stream. He forbade her from going on a vacation that she, more than anyone else, fucking deserves. It sucks because when they thought she was doing all this herself, she was a scammer, but they had said her husband was a marketing genius. Like, the fuck? That's not okay. We'll talk a little bit about what Keemstar had to say, of what he was such a pussy that he deleted it, because he's the biggest pussy on the fucking internet. The biggest bitch on the internet. And you can quote me on that. Fuck Keemstar. Aside from the fact that he convinced somebody to actually kill themselves and then spent a week saying that they didn't kill themselves just to find out that they actually followed through. Every single time a woman comes forward, a prominent woman on the internet comes forward with her story of rape, of abuse, violence, Keemstar has to stand alongside the fucking perpetrator, the rapist, the abuser, arm in arm, and defend that person, which just makes me wonder, Keemstar, what have you done in your life aside from prey on barely legal girls, lech around fucking high school parking lots looking for your next girlfriend? Yeah, this whole situation, how people are responding to her domestic abuse boils my blood because I've been there as the victim. Yeah, same. So seeing all these people come out against her, I mean, it feels shitty. It feels really shitty because when you've gone through it, when you've gotten out of it, to see someone who hasn't, it just breaks your heart. But then to see all the people denying that it's happening really makes me angry.
Well, fuck yourself. I'm done with it. I'm not gonna fuck you anymore. You want me to tell them I'm single? It's about to be true, piece of shit.
I mean, she is living in a prison of her husband's making, and that's probably one of the very few fucking things that she feels like she can control. One of the few things she can say I'm not doing. What I had heard was her husband manipulated her, and because he has, he's the one that communicates with all the attorneys, and he's the one that has all the financial information and monitoring her internet access, that she was told by him that she was not allowed to have her own bank account because she's married. The way that he was talking, the way she was reacting, it hurt me to my soul because I've been there. And I've been that person who went out and smiled every day and kept saying, oh, I'm so happy. This is the best relationship of my life. And I would go home every day to be beaten down, literally and figuratively, and just take it and then have to suck it up and go to work or go to class or whatever. Or I'd have to leave places because I'm getting these texts like he was sending her. We'll look at those texts in a minute. Or I'd have to miss important functions because my partner was abusing me at home and I couldn't leave, or I knew it would get worse or whatever. And it's horrifying. And I mean, of course, what had happened to me, I was not a public figure. So when I came forward to my friends, they knew immediately. They had seen it and they were there for me. And I didn't have a whole bunch of people telling me that I was, lying. And his friends had seen it and they knew. So I didn't even have them defending him. But I mean, her situation is totally different because one of the things abusers do is they isolate you from those close to you in your life. They cut you off from your friends, your family, your close relationships. They make sure that the interactions you have with others are always surface level and they never get deeper, and you never form closer relationships because their jealousy is toxic. And if they see you having a friend, they're going to find a way to get in between you and that friend to make sure that you don't expose to them the fucking vile, putrid shit that they are forcing you to go through behind closed doors. I know that she has friends in the streaming community. I know that she has good relationships. I hope those people are there for her now when she needs them. And I hope that she gets out of this. First thing is they get at your money. Yep. They want to make sure that you don't have a route of escape. There's also different types of domestic abuse relationship wise, and disabled people have it happened a lot more. Yeah, that's true. Disabled people, particularly femme people, I think are 4 times more likely to be the victims of sexual assault. And it's typically by someone close to them, a family member or intimate partner.
I'm going to leave you with 1 million and I'm going to take the rest because I worked harder.
The problem is she can't just go back to gaming because he has the two-factor authentication for her channel. And as it stands right now, he controls her finances. So even if she's making money gaming, it's going to a joint bank account. There's so much that has to happen behind the scenes before she's safe. And I'm sure that when that happens, hopefully when that happens, her audience will come with her and the toxic elements of that audience will fuck off forever.
Than you. It's like, and if you don't agree, then I'm gonna burn it all in court. I'm gonna put it all in fucking crypto. Blah. Just always threats, always threats. All the fucking accounts are like 2-factor under his number, and he has all like the login information of things. It's like keeps you there with the fear and the threats. And you fear that he's gonna do something to your animals, and then he's nice again and says everything's gonna be okay.
How can he access the money? Because they're married, so they have a joint bank account. So it's technically his money too. And he has the legal right to access it until, that's how it works in the United States. So if you're a married couple, you open a joint bank account, you both have equal access to that bank account. And she could eventually sue for intentional infliction of emotional distress. But I mean, that takes forever. So here are the texts that he sent her.
When I say plan, do it. Dumb fuck, do you understand? Like what Plain talking about? It's like, fuck this, I'm calling you. So I disappeared from stream. Take a call. So I can't tell them I can't talk right now. We're getting Wi-Fi. I don't care. You get the call now. Last chance. About to die.
And again, anyone who's been in an abusive relationship has been on the receiving end of shit like this. The other thing people kept saying, well, if she knew he was abusive, why did she marry him? You people are never cease to amaze me with your stupidity. You could fill universes with the things that you people don't fucking know. He probably wasn't abusive when she decided to marry him. That's how abusers are. They manipulate you and they'll be so wonderful. They'll be the best person you've ever known, your best friend in the world, the most wonderful partner you've ever had. And then they change for years even. Yeah, they can be dormant and then switch it on, or they'll ramp up little by little to see how far they can go. Her friend and her content manager said that she's okay, but I mean, also said that she's trying to work it out with the husband, which is, you can't force a victim to leave their abuser. I hope that the people around her help her to come to terms with the fact that this man is not going to get better. You heard that phone call. And she said that he will cycle. He'll be so nice and so good and she'll get better. And then things will just get so much worse and it'll continue like that. Even if he was abusing her before they got married, they isolate you from your friends. They convince you that that is what love is their abuse. And they convince you that no one would ever treat you better or want you more than they do. They tell you that the reason they get so angry is because they love you so much. So even if he was abusive before she married him, it doesn't fucking matter. He's been manipulating her for years, almost a decade.
Dump your luggage, from my hotel room. But throwing.
So apparently this is what he was saying to her when she was locked out of the hotel room and he was screaming,
your stupid merch off the balcony, proceeding to ditch your stuff. You don't need the makeup or the live view, like the stream epic, or the clothes, huh? Deleting social media in 1 minute. Buying options that expire and blasting the cash. About to shut down your bank account too. Lag is terrible. Stream is garbage. About to delete Twitter in 30 seconds. If you don't call me, your phone's literally off, right? I'm just like, it literally died. Gonna donate $250,000 to Polo Missy. It's like a bird sanctuary. Like,
that's so fucking weird. Can I just say that that's so fucking weird? Right? Everyone mentioning in Discord, there's no Alinity, no Pokey, no nobody, because part of the mods are in his pocket. Because those are the people who came out to support her, right? The gall to take your wife's money that she earned and donate it to some fucking random charity and then get praise. You're getting praise from this for doing a good thing from those people while you're abusing your fucking wife. Just a reminder that this is Kyron, the horse, Amouranth's husband, threatened to send to the meatpacking house when she didn't answer the phone. Miserable excuse for a human. No, if no one call in 1 minute, I will absolutely make sure Kyron goes to the meatpacking house. 20 sec, time's up. This is how the stream ended.
Hello?
Some woman just came in. She doesn't seem happy to see this person.
Hello? Hey. I haven't gotten any calls. What are you talking about?
So the person just said, are you taking your medicine? And Amouranth said, what are you talking about? Said, I just want to talk to you.
Why would you ask if I'm taking?
And then she cut the stream. That's the assistant hired by the husband or what? Because that was a very sus fucking question to ask. A very suspicious question to ask when you know that she's live. It almost seems like you're trying to lay the fucking groundwork to say that she's crazy. I think that was an extremely suspicious question to ask her. It seems like he sent that girl to say that. That's my opinion. When he was screaming at her on the phone, he didn't know that she had unmuted the stream. And then when he found out, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he sent someone on his payroll, make it seem like she's crazy. But we all heard what he fucking said. She just tweeted out something replying to her cameraman. Message just says stop it, which has people thinking it's her husband tweeting things as of now. Okay. She said he has access to all of the accounts. So, I mean, anything coming out of any of her media, even the stream that went up is suspicious. Keemstar is just a bitch. He's a bitch. He's the biggest bitch on the internet. The biggest crybaby on the internet. Responsible for someone's death, ran over a dog on the highway, and then like tweeted about it as like a joke. Clearly husband is abusing. She showed the text, but if you ever find yourself typing, well, clearly this person was abused, but delete it, delete it, delete it. Go to years and years of extensive therapy. Find an entirely different path in your life. Amouranth herself has scammed so many guys online, claiming she was single for years. These Twitch streamers don't care about their viewers. They all just use you and your low IQs to fill their pockets, which is just the biggest projection I've ever seen. You should fix yourself now. Keemstar always manages to mathematically calculate the worst possible take. It's literally like he hires a team of astrophysicists to create the worst possible fucking take. This is what he is live with the fuck. This is the thumbnail of his live right now. 7 p.m. Eastern, live today on the Keemstar show. Keemstar canceled, and it's the picture of Amouranth sobbing while she's getting abused by her husband. He's never contributed anything meaningful to society. All he does is prey on barely legal girls and talk shit. Mo TV on Twitch, who had a nasty take. Also, he was watching her video like it was fucking entertainment made specifically for him. And then he had this nasty comment that he decided to interject. Called it drama. And by the way, this is someone who also said that he was going to kill somebody's mom because they were beating him in a video game. This guy is scum too.
I wish it was recorded when if he wants to really prove a point to her like that, he should record himself and her talking, say the fucked up thing he said, and then play it back to her later to say, see, this is exactly what happened, but you don't remember because you were emotionally triggered.
Let's go on live stream and defend the abuser and pretend that he was making a point and pretend that her abusive husband was doing anything other than just abusing her. You get abused for saying CRACKER on Twitch, but you don't get banned. You don't get suspended for fucking defending a literal domestic abuser.
But still, like, it doesn't give him the right. But I don't know why this fight is a fight.
You didn't say it. You're being crazy. That's what you did.
You should have just said, I don't know, and shut the fuck up. And this man's pinned tweet is his wife and his daughters.
Listen, it's okay to be emotionally frail. It's okay. It would be even better if you just accepted and admitted it instead of being so defensive.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, I'm trying to like focus on the tears, but I keep looking down, and I'm not trying to look at her cleavage, but it's just such a big part. Like, I've been even focusing on this thing on the left, this box on the left, trying to like get my mind off of it. But like, dude, the cleavage is just there.
You're disgusting. You're fucking vile. Why is this person not banned from Twitch? You're listening to her sob while she's being abused by her husband. And your response is, heh, boobies. And then he had the nerve to play a video game with his daughter on his next stream. What if your daughter was in an abusive relationship? Would you be discrediting her abuse and her side? Because what? Because she's a woman? Because she's emotional? Because she's led by her emotions? You're a scumbag. I can't even begin to say the things I wish I could say about these people. And then there was this other person, this woman who had this stupid fucking take. She said, I can't make big claims on streamer drama. Streamer drama, not abuse without knowing the full story. But I will say that any man who is okay with or even supports his wife selling her body for money probably doesn't actually love her, at least not as much as he loves money. You piece of garbage. You pick me ass bitch. You fucking stupid person. This is someone being abused. This is not a time for, Christian bigot, of course. This is not the time for you to fucking espouse your anti-sex work hot takes. He doesn't hate her because she sells her body, okay? He forced her to do that. He's abusive because he's a bad person. Again, this is an attempt to place the blame on Amouranth for her abuse. I want to go and then watch what H3 said about it, because I think they did a good job and they have clips that I don't have. So let's do that.
When was she called in when she was talking about another recent shitty experience she had of the stalker that was like showing up at her house and stuff, and it was making a lot of news.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Which we can also blame the husband for, because he was forcing her to do the hot tub meta. She did not want to do it. She built an audience doing what she loved on Twitch, playing games and having a good time. And he stole that from her. A lot of people were telling me that she just seemed so tired, that she was just done with it. And Amouranth streams more than Hassan. She streams more than XQC. She streams more than Ludwig. She streams more than everyone. She has built a brand. She has worked her ass off to have her fucking husband steal that money from her. Really? He also made her do shower streams. Also at one point, I mean, like I said, he's literally been acting like her pimp and not her husband. OnlyFans was him too. Jesus Christ. Well, he said he used her body to build an empire. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what he did. She's a wonderful streamer. She's very funny. She created her audience. She built up her empire, and he took advantage of it. Weirdo. But like, Amouranth is funny as fuck. She's clever. She's quick. She's quick-witted. She has a huge heart. She's very kind. Everything I've seen of her is just the nicest shit. I've seen some of her streams. She's really fucking funny. She's talented at streaming. She's great at it. She's fun. People don't just watch her, right? Because lots of people watch her because they think she's their girlfriend. She has a big audience of women too who watch her because not just because she's a beautiful, a gorgeous woman, but because she is talented. My wife watches her. She's great. She's funny. Every stream I've seen of her, I actually had my friend who got Twitch to watch my streams, not very online, messaged me one day and he was like, "Who's Amouranth?" And I was like, "How are you watching Amouranth?" He's like, I was suggested to watch her stream and she is the funniest fucking person. And he's a gay man watching Amaranth's stream. Like, she has an audience of people who genuinely love her content. And she has a huge audience of people that she built up before she was doing any of that hot tub stream meta, whatever, who would continue to watch her do the stuff that she loves. I hope that she has created enough evidence to safely get out of that situation. I hope that she has a strong support network of people around her who are going to help her get out. People in the community was so nice on Discord, but some mods are in his pocket. Yeah. It's terrifying. It's really difficult because when he's been violent around her, you never know what they're going to do next. He threatened to kill her animals. What's to stop him from threatening to kill her? We don't know we know that he's been violent around her, that he's thrown shit, he's broken her stuff, he's willing to destroy her property, throw shit into the walls. When she locked her bedroom door to try to keep him out, he broke the door down and she has no lock on her door now. It's scary. She can't get into any of the ways that she makes money. So even if she gets in a restraining order, that doesn't mean that she gets all her stuff. And he's an abuser and a manipulator, so it might be hard. She might not think that it's the best thing to do is to leave him, because that's what they make you believe. They convince you that your life is going to get so much worse. She go to a court, get a court injunction or something to freeze the accounts. I mean, she could, but again, it takes time. It's really difficult, messy situations. That's exactly right. I know many abused women over life that defend their abuser to no end, but he's a good dad, but he works so hard. It's super sad. I can't imagine feeling that hopeless. Men suck. It sucks because they manipulate you into thinking that they're the best thing in your life. They're the only person who's going to love you like that. I've heard that, but that's not confirmed. Yeah, I mean, it's on their marriage certificate, which are public record documents, but it could also just be someone faked that document and they've been spreading it. So it's all up in the air. Doesn't she also live in Texas? She does live in Texas, unfortunately, which not a state you want to be in when you're fighting domestic violence. For years, I had an iPhone 8 or something, and I had no face recognition, and I never told anyone why. But one time, I hadn't texted my abuser back in a sufficient amount of time. So they immediately, despite the fact that this person cheated on me for the entire time we were dating, they threatened to kill me every single day. They would tell me I'd kill you if you ever cheated on me. And anytime I didn't respond quick enough, they just assumed I was cheating on them. So it was just like a constantly in fear for my life. And they were screaming at me on the phone, telling me that I must have been cheating on them because I didn't message them back within the sufficient amount of time. And I was just like she is, breaking down, and I chucked my phone at the wall so hard. I broke my facial recognition camera inside my phone, and then I just didn't have facial recognition for like years, and until I finally fucking fixed it because it was bugging me so bad, because every time I would try to unlock my phone, I would think about them and how horrible they made me feel. And it's just, having been out of that, I just assumed that was what life was. I thought, life is just, they treat you like dog shit and you suffer in silence, and that's it. And now, years out of that relationship, I haven't had panic attacks. I haven't broken down like that ever again. I thought that was what my life was going to be like until the day I died. And now, because I had a network of people who cared about me, who loved me, who helped me get out, I'm doing great. I'm happy. I never feel like I have to break down like that again. No one ever makes me feel like that again. I thought I was just going to be miserable every day, anxious. I thought I was going to have to be secretive about anything I did that my partner was disapproving of. And when I say that, I mean things like hanging out with my friends, talking to any man. Could not have any male friends. Everything I was not allowed to do. I just thought that was going to be my life. I was going to be miserable. And then I was able to get out, and it's insane how much better my life has been. And I just want the same for her. I want that so fucking bad. Feels like many of your friends are male now, and that's okay. And I'm allowed to be friends with men. And it was for so much of my life, I thought anytime I had a male friend, I would have to hide that. And now my life is so different and so much better. And I don't feel like I'm being held down. People speculate after this, Amouranth might not continue her sexual content. I don't understand why people are getting mad about it. She's her own individual person, and she might not want to get reminded of all the abuse she faced while doing her sexual content anymore. And that's exactly her right. And everyone who's mad about it is a crusty fucking incel who thinks that they deserve Amaranth's body, that they own her. And that's how her husband treats her. If she never does that again, good for her. If she chooses to do it again, good for her.
I've been wanting to tell people that, like, let's just stream together. Just tell them that we're fucking married. Because it's like, our relationship would be better if we just stream them. And it's fighting all the time. But no, mister, don't say that because it's going to ruin the business model. It's not time yet. Fuck yourself. I'm done with it. I'm not going to fuck you anymore. Piece of shit.
I mean, like, once she's out of the house with him, I think she should have something for her protection. Whether that be a gun or something else, definitely. Just think while she's still living with him, it might be more of a danger to her to have it because they share a house, they share a room, right? There's no lock on the door to this room that she's in, her streaming room. So it's just dangerous.
No, it's not like that here. I'm done with this shit. You want me to tell them I'm single? It's about to be true, piece of shit. Go fuck yourself.
Well, the law would favor her. I'm saying that he could take the gun and harm her or threaten her with it is what I'm trying to say. If she used it against him, yeah, she would be fine legally. But I'm saying with the gun in the house, he could use it, physically use the gun against her. But yeah, I mean, the issue is with people in abusive relationships, you have to get them to the place emotionally where they're ready to leave. It seems like maybe she's getting there, but she's not there yet. That's the most difficult part. People are sending police to do a wellness check, but the police, I'll tell you what, they're going to go there. They're going to say, did he beat you? She's going to say no, and they're going to leave because that's what the police do. 40% of police, by the way, Google that number, self-admit 40% to beating their wives. So they'll probably go high-five him and give him some pointers on how he can do it better. Or they'll just shoot her dogs because that's something else that the police are fucking prolific at doing, shooting people's fucking pets. Your husband's being mean to you, boo hoo hoo. We can't do anything about that. So to everyone telling her she needs to go to the police, she's called the cops before. She said she locked herself in that room to call the cops and he broke the door down. And none of us parasocials should be the one telling her, nah, he's abusive, get the fuck out. I mean, we can all say that, but you're exactly right. It has to be the people close to her. It has to be the people close to her network of close loved ones who do it, because who are we to her? Nobody. We're fucking nobody.
Her husband supposedly told her, if you want to go to Disneyland, you have to stream for 24 hours first. And in that 24-hour stream is when she came out with all this.
This man is straight fucking Andrew Tate evil. I cannot believe that people like this exist. And to actually tell your significant other, you have to stream for 24 hours first before we go to Disneyland. I mean, this man is evil.
Mm-hmm.
The response that people had to Clyde coming forward with her abuse story, it's on a much smaller scale, but so much mirrors exactly what happened to Amouranth and exactly what happened to the person, Adriana Lee. What is happening now to the woman who accused Miskiff of sexual assault. It's just fucking disgusting. People don't want to believe women and they want to shame them and threaten them, and it's nasty, it's vile, and these people are repulsive. It is a hatred of women. Oh, it all stems from misogyny. Who sexually assaulted Adriana? I cannot remember his name. Quick Slick. Someone else accused Miskiff of sexual assault. A Yumi Nini being investigated for allegedly covering up sexual assault of Adriana Lee's sexual assault, but now Miskiff is being accused of sexual assault herself. Content creator Yumi Nini took to Twitter on October 15th to share her experience with Miskiff. According to her, he sexually assaulted her in 2019 after PAX East. She asked Miskiff to fly to Boston to go to some convention since she had extra badges. She even said he could stay in her hotel room. She picked up Miskiff from the Acer party on March 30th around 4 a.m., but at this point, she was starting to feel uncomfortable. Miskiff tried multiple times to engage with her sexually, even kissing her and pull her close to him. Wrote that even though he put her while asking for her, he even put his hand on her groin while asking for her to perform oral sex. She said she turned him down each time. They got back to her hotel room at 5 a.m. She kept her clothes on, but she got into bed feeling too uncomfortable and tired to change. Miskiff tried to pull her on top of him. She said she asked for her to give him oral again. She continued to say no despite his pleas. She said he even tried to guilt her by claiming he had blue balls, giving him a hand job in hopes that he would stop. Left and started behaving distant. The percentage of people who lie about sexual assault is like a fraction of 1%. And what does anyone lose from believing the woman and supporting her until it's proven otherwise?
Like that guy could be so like unappreciative and ungrateful of having her as his wife.
Yeah, she says that at some point to him when they're on the phone. She says something along the lines of like, so many people, like guys like me, and I married the only one who doesn't. And she, like verbatim, that's pretty much what she says to him.
Wow. But so it's like the point is that you never know what's going on in a relationship, you know?
I mean, she told her story. What has he presented to counter it? I believe her. What evidence is there to say she's lying?
Just to emphasize how hard she works. She streams more than XQC, more than Hassan, more than Aiden, more than Ludwig.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane.
Her husband forced her to do that. She didn't even want to keep that a secret.
Scamming people?
You know who said that?
Yeah.
They're talking about Keemstar.
The biggest dipshit in the world.
Yep.
Amouranth proved the abuse on stream, and people are still blaming her for it. For these people, there's never going to be enough evidence. What's fucked is my mom is a pediatric psychologist, and people sometimes don't even believe children. What's really fucked up is children will be abused by their parents' new partner or whatever. When it comes to child abuse, sometimes the child will be abused by the mom's new boyfriend or whatever, and they'll try to come forward, and the mom, who's probably also being manipulated, doesn't want to believe the child. And that prevents them from getting out of that situation for so long. It's so horrifying. I like that they're making sure they don't send the internet after someone innocent. That's the responsible thing to do. I agree. I'm glad they didn't show the picture. Maybe it'll turn out that they had the right person, but at the end of the day, the devastating impact of showing the wrong person and sending hate after the wrong person, it's irreparable. It's irreparable. So it's a good thing to be certain before you do anything. That is the problem though, right? We don't know if she's going to leave him.
And Hassan made a great point. That's why he was so confident in screaming at her over the phone, because he's so confident in his abuse that he didn't even consider for a moment that she could be on live.
About to delete Twitter in 30
The best and smartest thing she did was stream it live. Texas is one party consent state. All of what she got on record is admissible in court. Also, it creates, God forbid something does happen to her, everybody knows who did it. Everybody knows who did it.
You know what you are.
I would lock my door, but he broke that too. So,
Best advice I can give during
The fuck? Those are her stream sounds?
Yeah.
my divorce my grandma gave. This shall pass.
Both phones from me. And so I ran in here to call the cops, and he literally kicked
The
the
people paying for text to speech right now are fucking awful. What the fuck is the matter with you?
door and broke it. Like, this doesn't even have a hinge anymore. And then he also, another day, right when the ST Peach came, he was like trying to smash my phone against my computer, try to put a monster on my
Props
computer,
back
and then
timing,
took
but I
the
need
fucking
$50,000.
thing, just like one of the objects, whatever. I think it was like one of the chairs or one of the tables, and like hit it against this wall and made this. This was my dog. This was him. Just like throw stuff. Fucking water
No
bottles
one
and
should
shit,
be
just
putting hands
throw
on you
things,
in
and I'm
other
like,
than a
"You throw it
loving
at me." He's like,
manner.
no, I didn't. I threw it in your direction, but not at
Like
you.
the
Just-
people paying to say, you should have a better man, a loving man. Like, are you fucking for real right now? Are you fucking serious, bro? That we must be prepared for her not to leave him. The expectation on victims is so intense, and she still deserves sympathy and still a human if she stays with him. Especially because he's a manipulative asshole. He'll probably, it's very possible that he convinces her he'll get better and things will get better as she stays. I hope that doesn't happen, but it's entirely possible it will.
to the start of you. Didn't hit you. Wasn't trying to hit you. 250K gone. We'll donate 500K in 3 minutes. If you no call in 1 minute, I will absolutely make sure Kyrie goes to a meatpacking house, and that's what made me lose it. Suppose I was threatening to kill the dogs today.
I was really hoping to hear from her that she was okay.
Yeah.
Because as of when this all ended, nobody's heard from her. Nobody's heard from her.
Supposedly her team said that she's okay, but nobody has heard from her directly, no.
But yeah, so it seems like she's getting a divorce. She didn't say one way for sure, the other, but she's mentioned being single. Keemstar is a bitch. Keemstar is the biggest bitch on the internet. What's up with Ethan's hair? He's fucked up. I don't know.
Her husband was yelling at her. Apparently, she had the stream muted for several hours. And when he started threatening to kill her dogs and stuff, she just became overwhelmed, didn't know what to do, and she just unmuted her stream.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He was saying he was about to tweet stuff exposing her that was false to ruin her career, and she was just like, oh, nope.
But she says that the first time her husband ever heard himself talk was on that stream, and it like shook him, and he's like getting help now. And like, From the outside looking in, as the person who's not being abused in that relationship, I feel confident saying her husband has not changed because he heard himself speak and be abusive. He only feels shitty because other people heard him do it. He doesn't feel bad about it, aside from his public image has been damaged. He's sad he got caught. I understand why she wouldn't see it that way. He's a manipulator.
It sounded like maybe from her own accounts because he had like access to them. Is that anybody else's takeaway from
yeah,
that?
that's what
Yeah.
Hers.
Right.
Because I think this dude's trying to stay anonymous for good reasons.
Right.
Also, her husband is not a music producer and is not a bodybuilder. That is a different guy. We found that out. So that's not her husband. But his name is Nick Lee. But that Nick Lee is not her husband. So I'm glad that we didn't show him and that they didn't show him, because that was not her husband.
As some of you probably saw the other night, he called me during stream, and I disappeared for like 2 hours. And then I finally like unmuted.
Dude, when she said she was going live, I saw someone reply to her tweet that was like, "You're such a natural beauty without makeup. You should try not wearing makeup anymore." I was like, oh my God. Read the room. Jesus Christ. First of all, no woman wants a strange man telling her that she looks better with or without makeup. Fuck you. But second, like, she's talking about her abuse, and you're like, you look better without makeup. You look better. I think he said without all that makeup. I was like, shut up. Shut the fuck up.
I apologize that was hard to watch for people. I didn't really know what else to do, because he was threatening to tweet shit, right? So kind of, if he was gonna tweet lies, I wanted to beat him to the punch. But yeah, sorry for if I triggered anybody with.
She streamed yesterday riding her horses. Oh, good for her. She said she's taking an indefinite hiatus from social media, which I totally respect her for that. No one deserves a break more than Amouranth.
Abuse. Anyway, so that happened. That was actually the first time that he's ever heard himself on a recording, because as I told you guys before, previously when I recorded him, he would just like refuse to listen to recordings. Sometimes with like take phones, etc., so we would never actually hear them. And I think
he would take her phone. He's broken her phone.
When he heard himself on that call, it really sunk in how much of an asshole he is.
Yeah. She goes on to say that they're separated.
She implies it, but I don't think she directly says it at any point.
Like, you knew how fucked up you sounded. I'm sorry. He's the one saying those things, and he's clearly felt comfortable saying those things to you for a long time. He knew how he sounded. I understand why it would be hard for her to accept that.
He's a fucking bullshit artist.
And I don't have to wear cleavage every day. I can wear clothes. Master has given Dobby a sock. Dobby is free.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, I'm so happy for her. Isn't that literally sex trafficking? I mean, he's literally forcing her to expose her body parts for money. And it's not even just that he's forcing her to do it. It's that is the primary reason she gets hated on. He is the reason she did bikini hot tub streams. He is the reason that she did a lot. But I mean, she got so much hate for it. So not only was she being forced to do it, she's being forced to do it to receive nasty, vile, disgusting attacks. He also forced her to do OnlyFans, yeah. And he was trying to force her to have a threesome. Turns out she wasn't a grindset girl boss who didn't care about the haters. She's a sex trafficking victim.
So as of today, though, I have access to all of my accounts and finances again. He's not here. He's getting help. And I'm seeking legal and emotional counsel.
The divorce lawyer. That dude ain't getting shit. Because I think when there's abuse involved, he's not entitled to... He's entitled to a lot less, if anything, I think. Also, there's another weird wrinkle in this story about her cameraman. And this is so interesting. The guy who was posting updates to Twitter about how she's all right, People on the team were able to talk to her and says she's fine. Police were called multiple times. She says she's okay. Yeah, it turns out that this dude was, she says, betrayed her for clout. Was her ex-cameraman the real Mars Bar?
I was going to say there was something a little bit sussy about what he was doing, but at the same time, I don't know. He did seem concerned for her.
So many messages. It's kind of crazy. It's like I felt so alone for so long, and now it's like I can't stop getting people to talk to me. Not in a bad way. It's just a very big contrast. I didn't think people cared that much.
I think she fired him. She did fire him. And then he changed his bio to ex-content lead for Amouranth, which I thought was like kind of weird. Like, because he was talking about how they were friends for 8 years, but then he was just like weird about that. I don't know. That was a weird thing to do. They had to call the police because her husband was being abusive at TwitchCon, but like she didn't get injured.
Situation for personal gain and clout, which is less moving. Unfortunately, my cameraman seems to be one of those people, former cameraman. Just over the TwitchCon weekend, he actually withheld information and sat on communications, which made certain situations more explosive than they needed to be. It's kind of weird what he's doing now. Sunday night after TwitchCon, I felt uncomfortable with like how much he was, what's a good word for, escalating matters, because it was very tense, as you saw from the text messages, partly because of the miscommunications. He called security to resolve the situation forcibly and aggravated it further when he called police, even though I said I didn't want to do that. So I felt like he was attempting to create a scene at a convention full of live streamers. Like our floor literally had streamers staying in it all up and down the floor. And so it just feels very shitty because when I expressed clearly I had
One thing I will say, because we were talking about how shitty Twitch is, one thing they're good at is they invite their streamers to these webinars on how to like build your brand and like how to improve your production value and shit like that, which I do appreciate because I go to some of them and it's nice. And then you get to meet the people on the back end who work for the company who genuinely seem to care about the creators. I appreciate that, but
plans in place to quietly deal with the situation at home. Didn't really appreciate that.
When things happen with her husband, she'll mute it or the stream keeps going and she is preoccupied. So he continued streaming, but he wasn't like an online personality.
Also for the skeptics, here's a picture of Amouranth locked out of her hotel room and the 911 call I made while he was yelling at her on Monday morning, 6 a.m. Do you find this picture like why are you posting that, or is that?
And why'd you take it?
Yeah, you took this really weird photo, bro. Why did you even take that?
Well, she said that her cameraman knew that this had been happening. It wasn't like he took an opportune photo, like, I can't believe this is happening, I need to snap this. He's been living with this knowledge for a while, and why is he documenting it?
To be clear, I'm not Amouranth's content guy. I'm not just her content camera guy. I've known Kate for 8 years. I'm not some guy who just started working for her. I feel for Kate, and I'm going to support her no matter what she chooses to do. She's like, stop it.
I think one of her stalkers came from Europe to hang out by her home in Texas. Oh my God. I mean, like, I get weird, creepy messages, but it's nowhere near on the level that she does. And I wasn't being forced to present myself as like sexually available or whatever. He sold all his stuff so he could go there. Oh my God. Some people are sick.
If you're really concerned for somebody's safety and well-being like that, you don't need to be live tweeting it, and shouldn't be really, especially if it's against their wishes. So yeah, I don't know.
He had the exclusive on this shit. Like this one had 17,000 likes.
Right.
He said after this, I was super stressed about losing my job after Monday, and that stress is what leads good people to turn a blind eye to shitty situations. I'm glad it's all coming to light, and I'm glad I at least try to do the right thing. What does that mean?
I think it's him saying that he wanted to keep his job and he didn't want to mess with the business model that was created. So that's what he means by it leads good people to turn a blind eye. And then after Monday, he was super stressed about losing his job because they had been in a huge fight and there was an altercation. He's like, I'm glad the public now sees what I knew, which was that she was abused.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because he's like, I see. He's trying to cover his ass. Like, I knew the whole time and didn't do anything.
Yes.
Well, it's not your fucking story to tell to begin with, bro.
It's like so sad just to know the extent of this abuse and how forced she was to participate in like sexualizing herself in a way she didn't want to, and like how much it was hurting her by how happy she is to not have to do it anymore. Just to like something so small as being able to wear a shirt that covers her chest is like a big moment. I feel happy for her that she is free from that. But like, I just also feel so sad that she ever had to live through that. It's horrifying. It's disgusting.
Anyway, she goes on to say that she's excited to get 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah, it's really sad.
She's excited to actually be able to see her horse. She's excited to watch TV again. She's excited to make content about animals. She's excited where she doesn't have to have her cleavage out all the time. She doesn't have to wear revealing clothing. She can go do social events. She feels like she has friends again. She can travel camping. This is nuts. What a monster, man. Holy shit.
Okay, so I think that's about everything that I wanted to talk about. It is just, it's fucking horrifying.